Mecca, the Hajj, SARS, Iran, Saudi Arabia, visas. What do these things have in common? Something that you can wager that intelligence agencies are looking into right now. For us, it's just a WAC, a wild-ass conjecture. But there's a confluence of occurrences here that we at the POTRBLOG team have looked at and that fit into the motto of our webpage. Feral dogs out in the cold, marking our descent one rose bush at a time. And the interesting thing is about this outbreak of SARS in Saudi Arabia and Qatar is that the timing is perfect for infecting attendees of the Hajj. The Hajj is a Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. Usually attracts several million people, typically 11,000 or so from the United States. But who won't be going to this year's Hajj? Mostly Iranians, because Saudi Arabia has been denying visas to potential Iranian Hajjis. And that's basically because they hate each other. So one has to wonder if these two issues are linked. They may be. There's an interesting confluence here. If you were a fearing Muslim, you might expect an unexpected comet to be spotted soon, or an earthquake to hit the region, with the potentialities of what the SARS epidemic has for the Hajj. And that is that the clear period, last infectious period for an all-clear signal from the previous SARS infection was 20 days, which is 2 times the incubation period, 10 days. The Hajj is in 20 days away, and at this point there's no way that the people who are attending the Hajj can be protected against the SARS outbreak, or SARS-like outbreak that's going on in Saudi Arabia. And the physical conditions of the attendees, the accommodations, don't necessarily bode well for SARS in Saudi Arabia not spreading. And it's interesting that at least one case is out of Qatar was from apparently a person of some means, because they were flown by air ambulance to England. So we're not necessarily talking about people living in hovels who are being exposed to this thing, although one may suspect that they may be more vulnerable. But given that it's 110 degrees in Saudi Arabia now, even though it's a dry heat, with 3 million religious Muslims about to be exposed to something, and then spreading back out across to their home countries, seems like the only people who have the least amount of risk from this are the Shiite Iranians and maybe Arab Israelis, because those are the 2 groups who are least likely to attend. So one has to wonder what's going on here. Whatever it is, the disease by itself is risky enough. But when you throw in the geopolitical factors and all the saber rattling that's been occurring in the region, and the deaths and the hatred, it's a very, very interesting times there. And one of the things that gives it away that it's something else is interesting going on there is when these reports of SARS-like virus was first reported out of Saudi Arabia, it was clearly stated it was not SARS. It was not going to be like SARS, and it wasn't going to be contagious like SARS. Well, we're already seeing that that's not the case. Be vigilant.